Welcome to another episode of Brain Cancer Diaries. This episode features a guy named Jeffrey Neurman. He has a blog called It's in My Blood. It's pretty entertaining, and it actually doesn't really talk about cancer much at all. And following suit, I decided for this episode we're not going to talk about cancer, brain tumors, or particular conditions, period. Psych! I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about it a little bit. It's kind of unavoidable. It's with the topic and the nature of what he writes about. Another note, there's a lot of technical issues in doing this episode, so for you continuity fiends out there, you're going to have a field day. I still think, regardless of all that, this is a pretty entertaining episode. Hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, my name is Rudy. I'm a brain cancer endurer, survivor, whatever you want to say. Anyway, and this is Brain Cancer Diaries. And this is about my journey to recovery, finding deeper meaning in life, and so forth and so on. I talked to some people about their experience, and I've learned a lot along the way. I hope you learned some things too. Some of it's serious, some of it's fun. But anyway, hopefully it's always interesting.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
So I'm 46, but I was diagnosed when I was just after I turned 40. I wasn't having any problems because I just went for a routine physical. So my blood work came back with an abnormally high white cell count number. Well, like doctors like to say, it's probably nothing. Which I think probably so many cancer patients hear that early on. Oh, it's probably nothing. So she reran the test, and of course it came back, and it was not nothing. Quite to the contrary, it was leukemia. Just hopefully the chemo would put me into remission for, maybe 8 to 10 years, but it could last longer. It could also not last that long. There's no cure. It made me more appreciative of my family and my kids, and my sons are 9 and 6 now, but it was rough because as I'm sure you've experienced with kids of your own, you don't want to miss out on the things that they're doing, but when you're going through treatment, it's really hard to act as if things are basically normal. So last summer when I was going through the chemo, and my older one was playing Little League, and I'm one of the assistant coaches, and it was so miserably hot, and I'm just dying there. But I'm trying to act like nothing's wrong. But you don't want to miss those moments. That's the type of thing that just becomes that much more precious. And and when I was first diagnosed too, my younger one was just an infant, a newborn. Lots of times I would just try to steal these moments where I would just look at him sleeping, and he would be so peaceful, and of course he's blissfully unaware of, pretty much anything.
Anyway, I want to talk to you about your blog. I mean, it's kind of a humorous take on what it's like to kind of go through the ins and outs of treatment, especially something like leukemia, where it's like a invisible cancer, meaning you yourself, I wouldn't guess by looking at you that you have this horrible, awful disease.
No, I look like a Greek god. I
never set out to blog.
One, I thought it would be somewhat therapeutic for me, and two,
if I could sort of step back from the immediate horrors of the fact that it was cancer, there are actually a lot of somewhat amusing things that go on. They don't always seem like it at the time.
I feel like we have a lot in common. I'm 47, you're 46. You live in the New York area?
These days, yeah. But I grew up in West Virginia, but I've lived in New York now for like 20 years.
Yeah, so both growing up members of the tribe in rural areas, interesting experience. I don't know what you care to share about your childhood in that regard, what it was like growing up kind of in a different sort of cultural tradition, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, we definitely were a very small minority. In fact, I think we were such a small minority that we weren't really subjected to much anti-Semitism because people didn't even really know who we were.
I did experience some anti-Semitism. Originally I lived in New York City, and then when I was 12, 13, moved to a small town in Indiana, and literally the first day some kids came up to me and asked me if I was Jewish, and I said, yes, how did you know? And then they're like, your nose. And they asked me to see my horns.
Oh, yeah. And I get those removed early on.
This is my stepfather, Fred, who is also a lawyer in New York City.
So I used to work One Liberty Plaza, which is
Right.
which is a building that was temporarily best known for being across the street from Ground Zero.
Yes.
And they had to use some of the first floor facilities there, I think, for a lot of the emergency stuff they were doing. But
Speaking of cheery subjects.
okay. Well,
Let me ask you this, since you probably do a fair amount of drafting. Have you found that the Me Too movement has changed the way you draft?
Go for the easy topics.
It's funny you ask that question, because I do draft. I try to draft in a way that is, very sensitive to, gender identity. I have to try to, go over the topics.
My experience goes back many, many years, but I had a client once, and when we got to the force majeure clause, and she said, I noticed that this says acts of God or his various agents. She said, that has to change, and you have to change everything in the document. And this was before, when I did it, it was before computers. You had to go through page by page and find them. And ever since then, when I've hit the his or her problem in the document, it occurs to me that adds about 10 pages to the average document. How do you make a prescriptive easement? And the answer is take it out for a couple of drinks and then bring it back to your apartment.
Here's one for the Me Too movement. So I thought, with all this talk of Judaism, what better way to kind of finish things up than have a real life Jewish mother appear.
I should have brought like a challah or something as like
No. Please don't.
And I know something you had told me prior was when we weren't recording was that one of your favorite episodes of Brain Cancer Diaries was the one featuring my mother.
You spoke from a place of wisdom, and so we're so self-possessed, and as a general matter, much less as the mother of a child, or whose child is facing cancer.
She has an equal secret. I admire your work as well. So it was the thing on elephants and tea that you wrote,
Right.
kind of like for those. I'll put a link in the description down below so people can find that article.
It's moving because the humor is gentle and it touches you. And you can also laugh too with it, and I think that was a terrific part about it.
I think I need you to be like my publicity agent too. I don't think I could ever say nicer things. But having grown up as a Jew in West Virginia, like I just feel like there's just something innately ridiculous. I think humor. That was the only way I knew how to deal with having cancer is trying to find some humorous aspects to the whole experience.
One question.
And the gang's all back.
All right.
The band is here. Relatively speaking, which was worse? Your current illness or taking the New York bar?
The bar, most definitely.
Certainly was for me, and I'm not even sick yet.
Hey, remember at the start of the episode when I said we wouldn't talk about cancer much? I lied.